Take 7, Mark.
I don't know what you really feel.
We had a bunch of ideas for a campaign, but the one that really resonated was having the target actually talk to themselves, because really, they're the only voice they'll listen to. We had them write their own letters to each other, these Dear Me letters,
Dear me.
making a case for themselves to quit smoking. And then we had them read those letters on camera.
Okay. Dear me, I want to quit. It's for my kids and for my health. It's going to be too late when they're burying you in the ground and your kids are standing there crying. How are you going to say, I'm sorry, I should have quit sooner?
I actually do need to quit smoking, so I'm gonna.
I have a reason now.
So my motivation is for my boys.
When my doctor called me and says, you know, this is really serious this time, you need to really change something, I realized that now's the time I really need the change.
Dear me, why are you taking your life for granted?
When we talk to people about why they're motivated to quit smoking, what they really end up always talking about is why they want to live.
I want to live to see as many days and as things change towards the better.
I want to live because I got a little baby boy on the way.
I just want to live to see the world kind of change from all the hate. Man, there's so much hate.
Obviously, lives involve a lot more than just nicotine and smoke. What's interesting is we show up at these people's houses with, you know, a dozen people, a motorhome, and you see them, these people that we're asking to read their letters, they're nervous.
I'm nervous as hell right now.
I was nervous all this last week until seeing him and started talking to him. I started feeling comfortable. Just his mannerism talking to you, it puts you right at ease.
David has an uncanny ability to make a person feel so comfortable right when you first meet him.
David gets them in a room, essentially alone, and it's just David and that person, and there happens to be a camera rolling. But I think they forget that it's there.
I got a call asking me if I would like to direct a campaign that's trying to get working class poor in the state of Washington to quit smoking. Explained that the concept was to get real working class poor to write letters to themselves, and that we wanted to try to do essentially mini documentaries in each of their lives. To not obfuscate these really gritty realities.
When we were coming up with the spots and looking at directors, David's ability to connect with real people and get their real emotions was, I mean, that was exactly what we were looking for.
What was crystal clear the moment we started looking at the stuff that David had shot and the work that he'd done as a photojournalist was that this guy knows human beings and he knows how to tell their story.
Once we were able to see how he connected with people and how he was able to get them to drop their guards and let these real emotions come out, I mean, that was it.
Thank you.
When I actually sit down to talk to these people, it's me with a small camera, and I'm generally not more than about 2 feet from my eyes to their eyes. I try to literally be in a proximity to these people that takes them out of the kind of comfort zone that they may be accustomed to, and to really get them to sort of lock in with me. And in fact, I find we do sort of go into a zone where very quickly it's almost as if there's nobody else in the room.
By writing that letter, yeah, it did make me a little bit more serious about wanting to quit. Made it wear a little bit more on my face because it's been in the back of my mind for a long time, but I've actually put it up on paper.
The more we've asked these folks about that letter writing process, that's what they've told us, is that they couldn't hide from it anymore. It was that look in the mirror. Just by writing it down, it became completely real and impossible to ignore anymore.
Reading it was a lot harder than writing it. Writing it was easy.
But it was really hard for me. It was really emotional because it was really hard to write it, then read it, It was just like a lump went down my throat. I was like, I have to read it now.
But when I stood up and I started reading what I had written, suddenly the camera wasn't there. It was me in the letter, and seriously thinking about my boys.
Thinking of that letter still makes me want to cry because it's really difficult. It's like a reality check when you have to read it to yourself, read it out loud.
Once you asked them how they felt, they just let it pour out.
Dear me, you believe in karma. You've been through a rough life. After the rough life, you've ran on the streets. You got shot. It's kind of hard to explain about the streets. You went to war. You were locked up. Maybe what I'm saying will reach someone else and it'll help them. You guys have to forgive me, man. I get a little bummed up.
We don't get that chance in advertising very often to have any real emotion,
Anytime you get people to open up about their challenges, you learn a lot about yourself.
Hopefully when somebody sees one of the spots and they hear someone say, "Dear me," and they go through the reasons of why they're still smoking, that when somebody's watching it, they're going to go through the same process themselves.